In 300 BC, in the city of Cyprus, there was a very wealthy merchant named Zeno. On a journey from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his ship sank along with all its valuable cargo. Due to an event entirely beyond Zeno's control or anyone else's, this wealthy man suddenly lost all his wealth and became poor in an instant. Imagine you're Zeno. Your lifelong effort has been poured into the sea by the absolute power of nature. How would you react? Would you be angry, sad, feel betrayed by life? For most of us, these are natural reactions. But for Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, the story is different. A small change can lead to significant and sustainable impacts. A slight shift in your thinking can result in larger, more powerful transformations down the line. At the core of Stoicism lies acceptance and tranquility in the face of adversity. After reading the works of Socrates and other great philosophers, Zeno crafted and taught Stoicism, turning these principles into the foundation of his philosophy. According to Zeno, while we cannot control every event that happens to us, we can control how we react to them and should leverage this control most effectively. Instead of lamenting over losses, as in this case the sunk cargo, Zeno chose to remain calm and unruffled in the face of adversity, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Today, many view adherents of Stoicism as steadfast individuals, not easily swayed by extreme emotions, anger, or anxiety. However, the original idea of Stoicism runs much deeper than that. Stoicism is not just a term to describe indifferent individuals, but a way to perceive, understand, and describe the world. It's a lifestyle that has endured for centuries. The philosophy of Stoicism can be applied to current situations, much like how it was applied thousands of years ago, yielding powerful benefits. Stoicism helps us deal with negative emotions from unwanted experiences, transforming them into thoughts that give us a new perspective on the world. The viewpoint is that everything is subjective, and every person in the world has different experiences, hence differing perspectives on everything. Through Stoics engaging in discussions and teaching philosophy in public spaces, their philosophy becomes widespread and accessible. They believed that the principles of Stoicism benefited everyone, and therefore hiding this knowledge behind the four walls of schools or within palace courtyards is futile. As a result, people, from slaves to emperors, could all learn and apply this philosophy. Some famous figures of Stoicism include Epictetus, whose name translates to acquired, as he was once a slave, Seneca, a politician, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most powerful men in history. The early Stoics not only preached, but also practiced what they preached, eschewing all forms of discrimination and leading the charge against inequality. They even coined the term cosmopolitan, literally meaning citizen of the world. Today, when we hear this term, we think of cities like New York, Toronto, Dubai, and London with their diversity. It's the connectivity and unity that the Stoics preached and practiced. As Stoicism was taking shape, women were often prohibited from pursuing philosophy. But adherents of this philosophy were completely opposed to that notion. Musonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, said, "Virtue is not the sole prerogative of men, but also belongs to women with their natural warmth and inclination." Why are men encouraged to explore living well through practicing philosophy while women are not? Women are no less happy and capable of performing noble and just actions than men. So why aren't they encouraged as such? Even before philosophy was widely popularized, women were still encouraged to learn about Stoicism, and we're free to become adherents of this philosophy. Why do many people choose Stoicism as a way of life? In a world full of volatility and surprises, our emotions often get in the way. In fact, we're not always sad because bad things happen to us, but rather because they happen unexpectedly. Rain might be a good thing, but it's how we react to it that makes the difference. Dark clouds bringing rain play a crucial role in watering plants, providing water for livestock, and cooling the air. However, when caught in a rainstorm without an umbrella, that experience is never deemed pleasant. So why don't we cheer when it starts to rain? Simply because even though the situation may not be ideal, we've learned to expect rain and adapt to it. It's an undeniable fact. We cannot control the weather. Even if it rains, the rain will eventually stop and the sunshine will return. Stoicism teaches that similarly, we should expect that bad things can happen, anticipate the worst possible outcomes, and be content, knowing that they might occur. One of the important exercises of Stoicism is voluntary discomfort, a practice aimed at enhancing gratitude awareness. Sleeping on the kitchen floor, taking cold showers while used to hot ones, or only eating potatoes for a few days. Challenges like these can quietly teach you a valuable lesson. They help you realize that no matter how difficult, you can still survive and thrive if your mindset is right. By enduring these discomforts, we indirectly train our minds to face challenges in the future. In today's context, where we are bombarded by advertisements constantly pushed onto us, we often feel that if we don't achieve the next best thing or earn a certain amount of money, then we'll never be able to attain happiness. But the reality is, this message becomes even more crucial in today's era. We step into a world where information is never enough, and we need to seek out and discover for ourselves. We grow up and absorb knowledge from various sources, from family, from schools, and through observing the world around us. The challenge arises when, in many cases, these sources impart different values and perspectives to us. The issue arises when we try to absorb all this knowledge without filtering. The result can be that we set unrealistic expectations for our lives, leading to disappointment and dissatisfaction. But in reality, this approach is not the key to a meaningful and happy life. Instead of relying on external sources to seek happiness, we should focus on self-development. Our actions should be carried out with the sole purpose of improving ourselves and bringing happiness to ourselves. Placing too much hope on external things or attaching ourselves to them often leads to disappointment. Frequently, we try to fill the void inside with material possessions like luxury cars, houses, or even marriage. However, true happiness often comes from inner growth and maturity, not from external things. At times, we pursue external material goals without realizing our true self-worth. However, Stoic philosophy teaches that when we rely on these things to seek happiness, we are placing our joy in the hands of unstable external factors that can fail at any moment. Cars can break down, natural disasters can devastate entire cities, and the increasing divorce rates demonstrate the uncertainty of marriage. Indeed, true happiness often comes from inner balance, not from external material possessions. Everything in life has its price, whether it's free or not. This cost can be space, both emotionally and mentally. As Seneca wrote, learning to live with less will create space in your life for what truly matters to you. Instead of spending time and energy on material and unnecessary things, We should invest our happiness in inner values and more meaningful experiences. In life, nothing is guaranteed, and sometimes we will face unforeseen challenges. But what's important is that we can keep our spirits cool, no matter how difficult the situation may be. While we can't control everything that happens in life, we always have the power to decide how we react to challenges. This embodies the essence of resilience, a key principle in Stoic philosophy. According to Epictetus, the primary task of life is simple: to separate and distinguish the things so that I can clearly understand what lies beyond my control and what pertains to the decisions that I can truly control. The Stoic philosophers teach us to learn to distinguish between what we have the power to control and what we cannot. We need to determine our worth from the things we can control, not from the things we cannot. Striving to achieve goals is good, but collapsing when unsuccessful is futile, according to Stoic philosophy. Sometimes making a video on YouTube might be easier than becoming the emperor of Rome, but it still requires effort and challenge. First, you have to come up with an idea, a process that takes time and effort. Then, you have to research that idea, weed out inappropriate ones, and start over. Writing scripts, filming, editing, creating thumbnails, writing titles, and everything else. All these tasks depend on you. But when you click the upload button, the power shifts to YouTube's algorithm. However, many people assess the success of their YouTube channels or Instagram accounts based on the number of views and the number of subscribers or followers, figures that are often beyond your control. Instead, according to the Stoic philosophy, you should evaluate your success based on the effort you put in, rather than the results of external expectations. Believe in the process. Living minimally is not just about freeing yourself from societal chains, but realizing that you've actually bound yourself. Imagine someone who has been working diligently for the past 6 months. Now, he feels deserving of a promotion, so he decides to meet with his boss to report on his job performance. After the meeting, his boss expressed gratitude but didn't promote him. He returned home feeling anxious, wondering if he's becoming disillusioned with his current job. He doesn't know exactly why his boss didn't promote him. It could be that the boss is upset. There might be another candidate with better qualifications, or the company might be facing financial difficulties. Despite not knowing the exact reason, a sense of discomfort still envelops him. If he focuses solely on the quality of the performance report he submitted and continues to strive towards the promotion goal, he may feel much happier. By approaching everything correctly, his goals won't be lost but merely delayed. The key is to adjust his mindset. A Stoic does not measure their success based on the money they earn from business, but they find comfort in the fact that they can live a tranquil life without having to purchase all the things that money can buy. In Stoicism, there are 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom relates to the ability to discern between internal and external, as well as the ability to choose how to respond to events in life. According to Viktor Frankl, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Courage, 2 words: patience and confrontation. Temperance, or moderation, is what I am doing now, doing less, saying less. While Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are battling for the top spots on the Forbes list, adherents of Stoicism believe that wealth is not simply about owning necessities, and then some. They believe that justice is one of the most important values in life. It's the belief that no one should harm others, because we are born to support each other, to do good for one another, rather than just caring about oneself. Nelson Mandela is honored as one of the greatest African leaders worldwide. Enduring 27 years in prison for his fight against racial discrimination, he became an icon of patience and perseverance. Upon his release, instead of seeking revenge, Mandela chose the path of peace and reconciliation. He rose to become the President of South Africa and dedicated much of his time to promoting unity and peace among nations. Mandela vividly demonstrated that forgiveness and tolerance can bring about peace and progress, rather than revenge and division. During his years in prison, Nelson Mandela immersed himself in the philosophical works of Marcus Aurelius and absorbed the core values of Stoicism. These invaluable lessons were not only theoretical, but also a source of encouragement and strength for Mandela's life thereafter. Instead of condemning and demanding punishment for those who had erred, he encouraged his people to seek the path of forgiveness and peace. This truly is a shining example of the power of tolerance and reconciliation in resolving conflicts and building peace within a community. To regain peace and unity, Mandela emphasized that the past was gone and no longer within their control. The only thing they could do was to look toward the future and build a stronger and more peaceful nation. This is the core spirit of those who follow Stoicism. In modern medicine, Stoic philosophy plays an important role in methods such as rational emotive behavior therapy and meaning therapy, helping individuals reconnect with themselves and build a more meaningful and happy life. REBT not only helps patients recognize negative thoughts, but also assists them in challenging and disputing these thoughts with logic. By realizing that many negative thoughts are unfounded, they can replace them with more positive and healthy beliefs. Meanwhile, meaning therapy, based on Stoic philosophy, posits that everyone has a purpose in life, and finding that purpose will help them discover meaning and a positive direction in life. Even when facing the toughest challenges, we still have the ability to make our lives meaningful and fulfilling simply by finding our purpose. But as many of us have come to realize, this is not easy. It's a complex process that requires adjustment and changing how we think. It demands that we let go of old beliefs and embrace the new. To cope with the challenges of happiness, we need to focus on building self-worth. Instead of spending too much time and energy on things we can't control, we should concentrate on what we can control. This way, we can create a much more fulfilling and happy life. Stoicism serves as a toolkit to help us overcome the challenges of the past and present, to move towards a more peaceful and harmonious future. No matter how our lives end, whether it's in a shipwreck and we all drown, we can take solace in the fact that we lived a meaningful life, even if it didn't last as long as we hoped. Remember that in every journey, everything has an ending.